लाइव। हेलो हेलो हेलो, क्या लेट ओपी करता है तुम लोग। मेरा एक हाथ है लाइफ में, कुछ तो शर्म करो। बट वेलकम टू 4
4
Oh,
वेंकटेश
वेंकटेश
प्रसाद
प्रसाद
ओपी.
ओपी।
yes.
अच्छा अभी रुक,
Also
मेरा थोड़ा
guys,
सीन हो रहा है लाइफ में, विच इज़ दैट मेरा ऑडियो नहीं आ रहा
STLB guys,
है। मतलब तुम लोग
STLB.
का ऑडियो नहीं आ रहा है मुझे,
Oh, हम लोग का नहीं आ
विच
रहा
इज़ वेरी वियर्ड।
तुझे
रुको
नहीं आ
मैं
रहा है कि
1 मिनट
पब्लिक को
में
नहीं आ
ये
रहा है?
रिजॉल्व करता है। क्या साला फालतू का नॉनसेंस होते
Guys,
रहता है।
watch Azeem work with one
रुको
hand
रुको
on the
रुको,
stream.
सॉरी, ब्लूटूथ फेलियर हैज हैपेंड।
Just want to say SLTB guys.
I can't hear
STLB guys.
anything that you guys are saying, by the way.
That's fine.
But yeah, just
STLB guys.
do all
Smash
your
that like
smashing
button.
of like button and all.
Smash that like button, motherfucker.
Azeem
Smash it.
behaving like us, like how Manchester United behaves with Azeem. क्या बोल रहे हैं तुम लोग? फैन है, फैन क्या बोल रहा है? अच्छा नहीं सुनाई दे रहा, सॉरी सॉरी। क्या चाहिए तुम लोग को? प्लेयर नहीं नहीं सुनाई नहीं दे रहा। अरे सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है, क्या बोल रहे हो तुम लोग?
Raffle Mao ka wow.
Tech difficulties with Azeem.
Azeem Banatwalla. अरे जोएल लाइव स्ट्रीम पे स्टंट कर रहा है.
Slacking the audience.
OP, what the fuck? हेडफोन कैसे पहनने का एक हाथ से? फक। Okay, hold on. This should work now. Audio source. Correct है या नहीं है? Okay, wait. Now I have to change input on the stream. Which one?
Correct, because now we are muted.
Yes, okay, we are back. Hello, बात करो. Yay.
Hello.
Lovely.
Smash that like button.
Yes, hello
Don't
and
you wish
welcome
sometimes?
to 4 Venkatesh Prasad.
Venkatesh Prasad OP. Smash that like button.
Like Azeem has just come back and pretended like the first intro never
Yeah,
happened.
fuck it. Who cares? Okay.
What's
chalo.
also great is Azeem only realized that his input is not happening when he said 4 and then I said 4 without an audio piece to it.
Okay, chalo, we are here and the like buttons have been smashed 174 times out of 300, which is disappointing. But let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. What a fascinating opening week it has been of the Premier League.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you call it fascinating.
What were your views, Neville? What were your views on Chelsea's performance? First half, तुम लोग बहुत टट्टी था, by the way.
बहुत ज़्यादा.
And this
wait,
let's
sorry,
remember this was again.
sorry, we haven't got.
Let's introduce.
Yeah, please, can we have Joel, who Bichara who has been waiting to join?
Hey,
in.
thanks. I was just gonna switch it on anyways after this.
Joel OP.
By the way, this is my first appearance after a haircut.
Yes.
Same with me. We both had.
Oh
haircuts.
man, why do we have things in common, Neville?
Sorry, you are my son. Remember? We forgot.
Neville, who's the mom?
It doesn't matter in this case.
Yeah.
Joel is blending into his own background. It's lovely. It's like
Correct.
that's how Spurs fans used to be many years ago. Just blending into the furniture.
Low bye. Let's take some dynamic. Not blending anymore.
But but Joel, you've been very happy over the last couple of weeks. Reguilon to Spurs and Bale also to Spurs confirmed. Here we go.
Couple of weeks nahi Azeem. Last 24 hours.
Last 2 days, whatever it is.
My only thing is there's nobody to pass the ball to Bale, or even if there's Messi ऊपर, तो कौन नहीं है उधर पास करने को? Unless
Baba please, Baba please तू अपना trademark कमाल.
Unless Lo Celso और Ndombele दोनों स्टार्ट करते हैं, वो लोग दो ही पास कर सकते हैं, उसके अलावा कोई पास नहीं कर सकता.
जोएल, तूने टॉटनहम का ऑल और नथिंग खत्म कर लिया?
हाँ, मैंने खत्म कर दिया.
Did you enjoy it?
No, not really. Like I said, there's nothing. Like I think I brought this up before. Like I'm the best critic, obviously. That there's no one big arc, dude, to watch it. They're all very isolated episodes. But the build-up is to one game which they beat Southampton. I'm like, chalo, nikalo yaar.
But Joel, this is the problem with non-fiction, right? It's only as good as the team. If the team had a great season, this would have been a fucking epic thing.
नहीं हाँ मतलब फेयर कि मैं सिटी का देखा ऑल और नथिंग तो वो मजा आया देखने को
उसमें है ऑल और नथिंग जेन्युइनली
अगर एटलीस्ट ये लास्ट सीजन ये सीजन ऑल और नथिंग में मजा आता था लाइक दिस सीजन आई थिंक टॉटनहम इज एक्चुअली गोइंग ऑल आउट बाइंग प्लेयर्स एंड शिट इसके बाद मेरे को नहीं लगता लौड़ा कोई आएगा
if it doesn't work they'll have to call it all for nothing.
Joel has left. Joel is like, this is not what I expected on this stream. Fuck y'all. Guys, I just want to say Chelsea played like shit against Brighton.
Yeah.
Okay, let's remember that it was Brighton. Okay, and we have still.
लैप्टिन ने क्या डिफेंडिंग किया है उसमें वाओ स्टनिंग great stuff and he looks like such a mouse.
You know what I'm really worried about is that Cowtuk is now going to become an EPL watcher and the whole purpose of him coming to fucking this show was that he's a Spanish correspondent.
Oh yeah, no, I just want to tell everybody, including Joel, that after this Bale signing, I am Tottenham Hotspur this season. All or nothing.
But
what is what is your review of Bale into like how good is he? Because if somebody tells you
सब full Premier League को fuck करने वाला है just to like stick it to Zidane. I feel this is what it's going to be. You just to show him कि देख मेरे को आता है अभी तक.
So the thing about Bale when he went to Madrid, phenomenal player. First season, second season.
वो ये ना मार्क बात्रा को भगाया उसने.
Oh yeah. So that
वो वीडियो अभी भी मिलियन व्यूज जाएगा. कोई भी चैनल पे डाल दो.
Yeah.
If you want to apply for monetization, you need 4,000 subscribers. Put that video.
Bro, उसका bicycle kick in Kiev. That fucking
Liverpool.
kick. That was, I think it's going to be always in the top 10 goals of the Champions League for sure in the final.
Yeah, right? Finals easily. Like there's that and there's the Zidane goal.
And there's the Zidane goal and then there's the Ronaldo goal from the semi-final of that same season. So,
but what is your review?
Review is that two things. One is that he's 31 and his main thing was his speed, which has been consistently been eroding because of injuries and because of age. So,
but also he hasn't used his speed in like 4 years.
In a long time.
Okay.
His
so it's
his
there.
swing, his handicap is very low, but his handicap is also pretty high. So no, but I mean the guy needs to be motivated. He needs to be, and I mean it's a full flip of a coin, roll of a dice, depending on what kind of player you get.
Bro, I just want to say one more thing. This fucking Liverpool, no? Thiago Alcantara for 30 million. मतलब तुम लोग क्या deals crack कर रहे हैं यार?
This season, generally the transfer rates have been lower.
Not for Manchester United. हम लोग को 120 मिलियन ही मांग रहा है.
Man, that reel was damn funny. Oh man, that is funny.
Yeah, there's that stat that this guy's compiled for us in the document where Bruno Fernandes and Van de Beek both came for less money than Leicester quoted for James Maddison.
Yeah.
This is what happens with Manchester United.
And Jack Grealish.
And Jack Grealish.
Who signed a contract by the way 5 years. तो मतलब next year उसको
मतलब next year आएगा वो.
हाँ, next year when Villa get relegated उन लोग को भारी पैसा मिलेगा.
ये हमेशा ये होता है जो भी प्लेयर को अगला सीजन निकालने का है ना वो 5 मिलियन का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन 5 साल का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन करता है.
Always. But I saw this amazing thing. First of all, एक बहुत funny meme था, which was like there was a news story of a plane which had to make an emergency landing on a golf course, and उसका caption लिखा था Gareth Bale arrives in London.
No, I saw another one about Manchester United, which was really funny. Which was it said Tottenham. So it was a tweet. Okay, so it said Tottenham : we are really proud to announce Gareth Bale as a signing from Madrid, blah, blah, blah. Manchester United. Today, on this day in 2010, Paul Scholes scored a goal for us.
One more question for you, Cowtuk. What do you think of the left back Reguilon, whose name I'll never learn?
ये बात कर लिया हम लोग.
मैं इतना गुस्सा था ना dude. और ये क्या deluded Manchester United fans है. They're like, this is small club mentality of not buying if you buy a player with a buyback clause, it's small club mentality. I'm like, हम लोग तेरे को लगता है हम लोग बिग क्लब है अभी? हम लोग कितना 10 साल में कुछ झाटा कुछ नहीं, एक यूरोपा लीग जीता है और कुछ नहीं जीता है एंड एक FA कप. You think we are big club?
Yeah.
Dude, it's a great deal if you sign him for 30 and they want to buy him back. That is if they want to buy him back at all.
Yeah.
For 45 million, क्या है problem?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, this is against the Manchester United identity. हम लोग का identity क्या है? Signing average British players. This is our identity now. Fucking useless
नहीं,
shit.
but a midfield of Pogba, Van de Beek and Bruno Fernandes is very like.
हाँ, but
that's
वो
one of the best
तीनों साथ में नहीं खेलेगा. I highly doubt that all three will play together.
Okay,
He'll
defense
mostly,
कौन करेगा,
हाँ, because Pogba
But
तो नहीं भागता
Pogba
है
still
पीछे.
can.
Pogba नहीं भागता है पीछे. Like I was looking at the stats of it with Pogba playing in the last season from August to January. We kept 2 clean sheets. ठीक है. The moment Pogba got injured and left, we had a run of like these 5-6 clean sheets because by choice, out of necessity, we had to play 2 defensive midfielders, which also is a reflection of how bad our defense is. Which with one defensive midfielder, हम लोग clean sheet रख ही नहीं सकते हैं.
You know, I have a feeling that Jose Mourinho came to Manchester United at just the exact wrong time.
Yeah.
You know, when Pogba was at his people loved Pogba to the max, where there was no one in the attack and no one in the defense. Right now, Ole at least has like 3 great attackers, one Bruno Fernandes, one Van de Beek, and Dean Henderson. Right, so at least you have something.
हाँ, अपना डिफेंसिव प्रॉब्लम है ना. ये पहले तो हैरी मैग्वायर, आई एम ऑफिशियली डबिंग हिम हगवायर at the start of the season. Hagwire है डिफेंस में, फिर लिंडलॉफ which is पता नहीं क्या करते रहता है. On his day is good, on his day is I don't know what. फिर वन बिसाका जिसको अटैक करने नहीं आता है. लूक शॉ जिसको मतलब वो कंफ्यूज हो जाता है कि बॉल मिल गया तो करने का क्या. He has to wait for
Luke Shaw has ADD, dude.
Yeah, he properly has ADD.
Like एक बार Jose Mourinho को उसने बोला Luke Shaw played very well. तो बोलता no, he didn't play well. I played well. I was telling him what to do. He was just following my instructions. I was like, man, what a personality.
But that's how Luke Shaw is. क्या कर सकता है?
अबे but वो Mourinho थोड़ा अंकलगिरी भी करेगा ना. He signed Luke Shaw when he was 18-19. वो बोला रहेगा उसको दे. और dude मतलब Jose Mourinho is too empowering यार. He can become bigger than life.
That's also true. हम लोगों ने देखा.
Guys, Arsenal really is looking very good. The way they played. I just hope that it's going to end soon because it's Arsenal.
No, but also Arsenal have this thing, right, where they look really, really good, but that's all they look. Right? Like you know, remember the peak Arsene Wenger days when they used to make 45 passes at the goal mouth. Right?
वो भी against Norwich then, which is not required.
Like why are you just fucking shoot? Like उन लोगों को
नॉर्विच का डिफेंडर ट्रैक बैक नहीं कर रहा है. तू वो लोगों को 50 पास देके क्यों तोड़ रहा है? एक पास बीच में से टूट गया नॉर्विच.
But by the way, dude, this Reguilon thing, like it's a little surprising. I mean, as a Madrid fan, a little bit surprising because Marcelo.
What's surprising?
I'll tell you. So
that they haven't.
He's a left back. He's a left back.
Sorry, before we get into any serious discussion, you think he will play regularly?
Great. That was going to happen. Nice. That was going to happen. I think he will because who is he replacing? Ben Davies, which I think you can replace.
Tottenham does not have a left back. Davies, matlab, now he's more centre back kind of a thing. So for right now, Tottenham don't have a left back.
वही था ना Ryan Sessegnon.
वो मोरिनो बोला ना वो लेफ्ट बैक नहीं है. मोरिनो आके तेरे को ही बोलता तू नहीं है ये. तू जो भी है तू नहीं है. तू क्या है नहीं है. बस I zone zinc.
One other thing about Tottenham is that they take any player and they make him a centre back at least once. Like Eric Dyer, CDM नहीं centre back. NWA centre back.
नहीं but Eric Dyer came as a centre back, then he was pushed to CDM and then he was pushed to
Pochettino.
Eric Dyer has played everywhere. Right back भी खेला है ना कभी-कभी.
Dude, he played उसने एक मस्त क्रॉस डाला था केन को 2015 के 16 के एंड में.
Like this is the kind of club Tottenham is.
All or
nothing. You have to remember one cross.
Yeah. So even when I think of Wan Bissaka, I think of that only कि वो एक क्रॉस डाला था against Chelsea. And that's all he's achieved.
मतलब I think Eric Dyer को rise was Pochettino और उसका fall भी Pochettino ने किया क्योंकि पोचेटिनो का लास्ट में ये हो गया कि उसने किसी को कुछ फिक्स रोल नहीं दिया. सब जगह खेला. और एरिक डायर का वही हो गया. सेंटर डिफेंस में वो खिलाता था डिफेंसिव मिडफील्ड में. ठीक है. उसके बाद वो बोलता था मीडिया में आके he has the abilities to be the best center back in England. फिर उसको वापस सेंटर डिफेंस में खिलाता था. तो ये सब किया वो सब किया तभी डेम्बेले सब मतलब I तो blame Pochettino only for that. Pochettino मतलब he's obviously a fan favorite but उसने बहुत सारा गान भी किया है.
हाँ वो तो है. Nobody is perfect. But
to take Tottenham to the Champions League final is fucking phenomenal.
But okay, that's phenomenal. Fair, agree. But the only criticism to that is the fact that if you see the game, which I saw, was complete fluke. There was nothing tactical.
The whole run.
See the Man City का पहला game I feel Dortmund को Tottenham ने clearly outclass किया. I agree. ठीक है वो गेम में वो लोगों ने पूरा खत्म किया. सिटी का फर्स्ट लेग जो हराया वो लोग को 1-0 वहां तक पूरा डिसिप्लिन में किया. उसके बाद पूरा मटका लॉरेंटे हाथ से मार रहा है.
अरे ब्रो
डैनी रोज के पैर के बीच में से दिस इज नॉट टैक्टिक, दिस इज जस्ट लक.
Joel, as a Madrid fan, let me tell you that 3 Champions Leagues when you win back to back, one of them is matka. One of them is like, chal ho gaya yaar. It's fully that. You have to take, man, that's the thing about tournaments, right? Like the good teams will have bad days, the bad teams will have good ones.
See, the best thing about Tottenham का तभी वो था कि Tottenham when they played that run, right, in the 3 legs they won. They beat those teams that they're number 1 in their leagues everywhere. Dortmund तभी जर्मनी में number 1 था, Man City इंग्लैंड में number 1 था और Ajax नेदरलैंड में 1 था. So they had no excuse that they were playing against a team out of form or something like that.
But dude, that Ajax game, I saw the Ajax game where Lucas Moura scored that last minute thing. Dude, it was thrilling as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, dude, मैं घर पे slide मारा. मैं skin कर दिया अपना knees.
That was wild, dude.
And yet there was a problem with the season.
Yes. Okay, चलो स्पर्स का बहुत बात हो गया. अभी थोड़ा यूनाइटेड बिचिंग और करते. So there was this one
bitching भी करने का.
हाँ, there was this one this thing which I wanted to show you. It was a tweet. Which एक सेकंड मैं स्क्रीन शेयर करके तुम लोगों को
Is it Phil Jones?
No. Phil Jones का अलग है. रुको, I'll just share the screen 2. मेरा कुछ बैंक अकाउंट वगैरह तो खुला है.
And this podcast needs to have that a catchphrase where we say also we also say here we go.
Yeah. Okay, so wanted to have a look at this. This is the funding from owners in the last 5 years amongst Premier League clubs. Okay, so
Not surprising.
Chelsea 440 million, Everton 300 million, Aston Villa 193 million, Fulham जो था ही नहीं 5 में से 3 साल 186 million, Brighton, Leicester -6, West Ham -11, Glazers have put -89 million into Manchester United. That's where
when I was reading the stat, when I was reading this tweet, I thought the dash was a hyphen. I didn't think it was.
No, it's minus. It is minus. Oh, hey, Rambo is here. Hello.
What is up?
Rambo OP.
How you all doing?
Excellent. Good to have you here. Let me introduce you to everyone. I am Azeem. Obviously, we were planning chat to have a proper meeting and get to know each other and all of that before we did this, but hand and lack of time. But we quickly introductions. So I'm Azeem. Neville is the guy with the Chelsea background.
Hi, Neville.
Cowtuk is the guy with whatever average house, which is Neville's house. And Joel is the guy blending into the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
The problem is I have a green screen and I'm wearing a dark green t-shirt.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just see my face.
Wouldn't it be easier to change the t-shirt instead of changing the background?
Rambo, these are all good decisions that Joel doesn't make, which is why he's a Spurs fan.
No, but it's great to have you on here. We've been very excited to have you on and talk about the FPL. We wanted to do it obviously before the season started, but for whatever reason we couldn't. We have a super chat from Nehal Kulkarni saying, "Hey Rambo, love the Jambo show and missing his FYI boys."
Oh, thank you, bro. There's a lot of love for FPL in India. It's actually insane. Also, you guys play FPL so religiously. It's actually a joke. Like British people don't even play it as religiously as you guys.
No, Rambo, my team name is Forgot to Make Changes. So that's the name of my team, and it's legitimate.
Yeah,
because week one, I have forgotten to make changes. I had an auto pick team and then I set up for a differential team, and then I said I'll make the changes, and then I forgot. So I've played with a differential team, and of course none of them worked because all of them were differentials.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I can't recommend making a team with differentials because that doesn't work. There's a reason it's differentials.
Yeah. Exactly.
Also, I've got a question for you, for all of you guys actually. Whenever I do streams with anyone who's not in England, like anyone in South Asia, I always get criticised for having a fake accent. Do people like not believe that there's brown people in England?
Have they not been to England to realize this? But yeah. No, it's not a fake accent, guys. So calm down.
It's okay. Like all of us should.
We all trust Neville. We all trust Neville. Neville is the ISI mark on a stainless utensil.
All right.
Seal of guarantee.
Okay, so just to give you some context, we've all had pretty shit FPL first weeks. Cowtuk, the last stream was teaching Cowtuk how to make an FPL team because this was his first time. And we took him from having Alisson and Edison as his goalkeepers to something slightly better.
I'm sorry, Rambo. The trauma. I could see the trauma.
Oh, do you watch football?
Oh yeah. He does. He's just not played the FPL.
No, which is why I was like, oh, so this is the place where you put all the good players, right? And then I was like, no, that's not it at all.
Did you see the thing in the top corner that said budget?
But
It's like the best way to figure it out. It says budget.
and I think that's what happened because he did Alisson, Edison, Trent, Van Dijk, somebody else, and then he's like, oh fuck, I'm done.
After the 5 players, when you ran out of your budget, you should just save the team.
Oh no, then I went to Mark Noble. There's a distinct loss of quality the further down you go in my FPL. So.
But how was your first week, Rambo? How did you do game week 1?
To be fair, I mean, like I've just seen the title for the video is FPL Crash Course. Like I'm some sort of specialist. I can promise you, I probably know more than the average person who knows FPL. Yeah. But I'm also not as stupid as someone to put Edison and Alisson as my keepers. I didn't do that well last week. I think I got 61. But last minute, I had like a little glitch in the matrix, and I went with Pepe. I don't know why. I watch football like religiously, but it's because I saw this like leak on Twitter where someone had like the Arsenal team sheet in their hand. Like it was like a picture of a coach, and it said Pepe, and I was like, ha ha ha! No one's got Pepe.
I've got a differential. Yeah.
I was like, yes, Mogambo Joshua. I was like, here we go. And then Pepe got benched and came on for 12 minutes, and I was like, Mogambo doesn't know shit.
No.
But I mean, I started off very well. I had Aubameyang as my captain, and I went with Willian, who worked out fabulously. I think he started with 3 assists and then they gave him 2, which was kind of irritating. And so I'd gone with I'd been following Rambo, your entire thing of always stick with Danny Ings. So I went with Danny Ings, and that didn't work out very well. And I think my biggest failing. Let me just put this on screen share, in fact, so I can show you this week's team. But I think my biggest failing last week was that I went completely Spurs heavy. So I went with Kane, I went with Doherty, and I went with Lloris. So and all 3 gave me basically fuck all. And this is my team for this week. So what do you guys think? What are your views?
Are you watching All or Nothing by any chance?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, there you go. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot. Okay. Backing Spurs in a big way when Jose Mourinho's in charge is a gamble. To be honest, I quite like your team, but the double leads is a bit weird. I can't lie.
So for me, I was planning to have Walker Peters in instead of Struijk. But considering it's Fulham, I figured let's have a go.
Okay. Yeah. I'll show you my debacle. Let me just explain what this happened. Azeem, you need to give me screen share privileges.
Yes.
But this is how I started. I said I'm going to do a 3-4-3. I've ended up with a 5-3-2. Just by points. I'm not even kidding on this. So, Azeem, if you share privileges, I will show you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
now
yeah.
I'm fucked because I have Werner, Pulisic. I already have 3 players not playing this week. So I'm in a great place.
Yeah, you can share Neville. There we go.
There you go. So this is
What
what
is the
happened.
stream? Oh my god.
This is what eventually happened.
The
Bro, what
devastation.
is this, man?
Man, there's nobody in the center.
Yes, this was my
They're just
differential
grass.
team, guys. This was my differential team, right?
What does a differential team mean by that?
Basically, I was just setting up differential so that then you have money for the big people. And then I just forgot to make changes, of course. And then this is what happened. So now I have Pulisic who's not playing. I have Werner who's apparently playing now. Wow. So yeah, should I just already take a wild card?
Nah,
नीचे लिवरपूल का कौन है? तो लिवरपूल को क्यों? Okay, sorry.
Liverpool playing Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay, why is Trent on your bench?
Yeah, no, I haven't done that. I'll do it before 3:30.
Oh, okay.
No,
Sorry,
do
sorry,
it
sorry.
now, Neville. Otherwise, you will forget. Do it now.
Please,
Neville do 6-1. That should be a promotion.
Yeah, but I currently don't have an option. The only option I have is this. This is really the only option because like Stephen's not going to play and this is all I can do. I have one change, but I'd rather keep it and make 2 changes next week. So
To be fair, your team's not terrible. You've also gone 3 Spurs. You guys really like all or nothing, eh?
no, I went Spurs because of last week. Yeah, that really was it. And also Spurs, if you just honestly look at Spurs, they had
It was just the
they have a
fixture list,
decentish
yeah.
they have a decentish run of games, right? So then didn't want to think. But yeah, I mean, I'm just going to save changes so that I don't forget. Who should be my captain? That's the bigger question.
Ooh, Bruno.
Fernandes, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be like 3 penalties, so it'll work out.
Although, I mean, if you like differentials, then Justin is your guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, against Burnley, maybe, yeah. But no, not for captains. So
I'm just saying.
I'm just thinking, should I switch this for Bamford? That's another big thing. Like, should I? Because I get 0.5 in the bank, even if I do it now or I do it next week.
I think you should go Rodrigo to Mitrovic. Mitrovic has a decent run of fixtures. You got 2 good fixtures, then 2 bad fixtures, then 2 good fixtures. But if you got 0.5 in the bank, I think you should be able to get Mitrovic.
Oh no, I don't have. I'll have to sell him to get the 0.5.
It's all right anyway. Mitrovic is 6, so you're fine. You can do a straight swap. Oh my god, you're so lazy. You type them in. Jesus. So lazy. I've never seen anyone do that.
It's just easier.
It's disgraceful, man. What are you doing?
But why is it? I mean, there's an option here, so you just might as well do it. It's easier.
It's just like so lazy. Like people will flick through everything. You just type the player name in and just like, yeah, go on. Yeah, I mean, I would say on the wildcard advice, a lot of people have been asking what we should do with a wildcard.
Yeah.
Wait until after the transfer window, because if Bale arrives, which I think
of course,
he's going to arrive now, any minute now. By the way, complete side note, but I just basically commented in the chat to tell people to like the video. I already have 5 emails from random Indian emails. They're like, hey, Rambo, this is my FPL team. Check it out and let me know. Also, I've had my Premier League account suspended. Please, can you let the Premier League know to unban my account? What is going on? I've been on here for 5 minutes.
Well, that's what happens.
Okay, we
Can
have
I
a
show
super
my
chat.
team?
Your team didn't exist, no, until today.
No, I made one for next week.
Okay. Wait, we had one super chat quickly. One was Nikit Mishra saying Joel OP. Nehal Kulkarni is saying, he's asking a question for Rambo. I don't get what this is. ASM to Podence or, send maximum to Podence or click for a hit. I'm not sure what that means.
I think he's probably saying he wants to take a free hit.
For free hit, okay.
I'd stay with Podence because I've just read that Jota is joining Liverpool, so Podence is probably going to play now.
Is he? I thought that was just a rumor.
No, it's just come up now on Sky Sports. Jota's set to sign for Liverpool for 35 million.
Wow.
What are these figures, dude? How do they do it, man?
Yeah, I know, man. I know. It's crazy money. But he's young and he's good at pressing, so yeah. Also, don't take -4. Oh, he means -4 hit. Yeah, don't take -4s. Like, it's such a long season. No need to take -4s now.
I already did. Oops.
Oh, what? Really, Azeem? You already took a -4. You made 2 subs.
Yeah, because I had to get rid of the Spurs players, no?
Wow. You'll add them next
please,
week.
Please, just notice this time code and let's make sure that that's a meme from Rambo. Just that expression of what is this? What is happening?
You know, the guy who's asking questions, I love his team name because when I was in India last year, everyone used to say Kuch Bhi. Literally, what you just did is the most Kuch Bhi thing you could do. You got me on this stream and you waited for me to give you tips, but you already made the changes.
Well, no, the tips aren't for us. The tips are for the chat. So.
You need the tips, bro. I'm telling you,
Way
need
more.
that.
Way more. I got 46.
Should I switch out Pulisic for Kai Havertz or what? Oh no, Havertz is already in my team. What an idiot. Sorry.
Yeah, you
Put him
can't have
twice.
both.
Put him twice. Copy paste. And then make him double captain, so you get 4 times points.
Okay, Joel, what's your team looking like?
Okay, let me share screen. I was very excited. This is my team.
Joel hasn't played last week, just for reference, Rambo. So
you're already 1 week behind. 2 Everton at the back against West Brom, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, this is not Everton. That's Leicester, right?
No, but you got Pickford and Digne. They're 2 Everton.
Yeah, Pickford and Dean.
Oh, okay. I thought Castagna. I just
You
picked
make-
him up. Yeah.
You're making me question my football knowledge. I'm like, wait, what's going on here? Hold on a minute. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but Bamford. Ugh. What's your bench? Can you scroll down so I can see your bench? Oh, God. Scroll back up. Forget the bench.
Oh, man.
I would probably start Adama instead of Bamford because Adama's got a really good record against Man City and there's no Laporte, so he'll get a lot of time down the left, Wolves is right. Your defense is really expensive, and Mane instead of, I mean, you need to get Salah or Aubameyang. As the rule I've been saying this season is you have to have one of them two.
So
and then the rest
also,
of it,
where do you stand on Trent versus Robertson?
So this is an interesting debate, right? I don't know why I'm getting so excited like a little kid. I think I was saying to people, I think teams will figure out a way to cancel out Trent a little more this season, and so I think Robertson will get as many returns or close to, and for 0.5 million, it might be worth saving.
Yeah.
But if there's an area on the pitch where you want to save, I wouldn't be gambling on Trent because he's that good. So that would probably be my advice. Neville doesn't give a shit because basically he just wanted advice on his team and now he's like, get me out of there.
No. I have another question. You said Salah and Aubameyang. So I'm saying, should I be setting up for that transfer in next week? Because I'll have 2 substitutions. So then I should start worrying about that. Okay.
Yeah. I think Salah you're okay without this week because he's playing against Chelsea. But then Aubameyang's playing against West Ham and he's scored 8 goals, 4 assists in his last 6 games against West Ham. So if you want to be brave, then yeah. But Joel, I think you should take bring Adama in for Bamford. But Bamford's playing Fulham. Bring Adama in for Grealish and take Mane out for Aubameyang. If you have money in the bank, you should have money because this team looks cheap.
Man, this is a rude review session.
No money in the bank.
1 second. There's no money in the bank. 1 second. Who for who?
Mane for Aubameyang, but Mane's gone down by 0.1.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, this guy is more expensive. Aubameyang. He's 12.0.
Yeah, so this is why I think Joel last season gave up by around game week 17. And then
Game week 4. It's
4,
fucking annoying.
1 second, Joel, you lasted 4 weeks?
7 weeks, 8 weeks, and after that, it's just like, man, fuck this, dude. I'm getting like 11 points. Dude, when Aditya starts overtaking me, I'm like, dude, fuck this now.
No, but in fairness, Aditya won the league last year. So.
Yeah, so...
I'm just going to say, by the way, we were joking about 2 keepers. Just look at your 2 keepers. What are you doing, man? You need to get rid of one of those keepers. Get rid of Alisson.
Why?
Because you can only play 1 keeper, man. It's 11-a-side football.
My formation is 2-4-1-3.
Hilarious.
So get a really cheap Golchi. That's the thing. Unless and until you're setting up for bench boost or
go with like a McCarthy and Lloris or
basically 4 wala na, 4 points.
4 or 4.5. I generally go 5 and 4.5.
Just make sure that the other keeper is a playable keeper because
Yeah.
if you have a really tough game week, Messi is not going to play.
No.
I think he's gone with the first 4 he can find.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Messi. He's picked the Arsenal keeper.
Okay,
Wow.
McCarthy, I'll play.
Okay, this is just
Yeah,
a disaster. We'll while Joel continues to ruin his
Yes.
stream, we'll take a couple of other super chats that have come in. Nehal Kulkarni is asking, what do you think about going heavy at the back, like 4 premium defenders and cheap forwards?
Nah, I think all the value is in forwards, especially because of the transfer window. Bale's on the way. So
But do
Bale.
you think Bale comes in as a forward or a midfielder?
I think he'll come in as a midfielder. Because he's a wide forward, and I think he'll come in at 8.5 or 9, maybe. I don't know about 9. Probably 8.5. So yeah, I think at the moment, because of the way the league is, like I just don't see many clean sheets. First week there was a couple, but I think the games are going to gather pace. So if you're going to go heavy on a defense now, at some point you're going to have to scrap that plan. So I'd say stay heavy going forward. I also want to say, by the way, one thing I've definitely noticed whenever I do these streams for anybody but my own audience, people always come back to me in like 2 months and go, "You a fucking bastard." I'm like, "Why?" You told me to make this change. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen, man. I was like, if I knew what was going to happen, I'd just put all my money on every single prediction that I make.
Just quickly, you don't think that holding a midfield strategy, a heavy midfield strategy, works better than having a good forward strategy? For the only reason being, like, midfielders get you more points for goals and also get you something for clean sheets.
Yeah, so I was going to say that the strategy I was saying not to have is defenders and goalkeepers. Midfielders and attack is the strategy. I'd say like one premium striker and 2 cheap strikers with a premium midfield is a pretty good strategy.
Yeah.
So like this midfield with Grealish, Harrison, Son and Aubameyang. Son captain against Southampton. You need to change your captain to Aubameyang, I would advise. But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's an okay team. Also, as you can probably tell, people in the chat are probably saying this guy's a bully. I'm not. I'm just kidding. You guys are all comedians, so you get this.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think if I had to pick a team from the start again, I would try and get Aubameyang and like Salah in the same team, because they will be the 2 top scorers. And then maybe like James. I haven't seen James in any of your teams yet. James Rodriguez is a very good option.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you. So
that was my
after
differential.
Joel, can you take out the screen share? Sorry.
Yeah, no. So after the showing against Tottenham, so Everton looks really good, right? Like, which Everton players would you pick from that bunch? James and anyone else?
Probably DCL, because he's very streaky. Why is that glass so small?
It's a lucky glass.
DCL and James, because Richarlison at 8 million is quite expensive. So 7.5 for James is only going upwards. Same for Calvert-Lewin. I think Calvert-Lewin is going to go upwards. At 7 million, he's at a really nice price. And maybe Digne, but Digne is expensive. 6 million, I think he is. Azeem's wife or girlfriend is walking around at the moment.
Oh yeah, that's normal.
Wait till the cats start showing up.
You'll see cats soon.
Yeah, DCL and James, Digne, if you have the cash, probably them 3. But I wouldn't go that heavy yet. We've only seen 1 game. I think that's the biggest tip I'd say to anyone is we've only seen 1 game week. Anything can happen. Everton beat a really bad Tottenham. You never know. Things can change constantly.
Yeah, and you had
Bale's coming.
1 game
Things
week,
will change fat.
and you had only 1 game week without United and City playing. Just like, understanding.
Yeah.
That's-
Okay. There's
that's
another question. Now, what do you do about the great Guardiola conundrum, which is not knowing which of the 17 players is going to play on the day?
Probably avoid it. Yeah, I was looking at the stats earlier, and it's like the top 4 people who have played the most games is Rodri, Fernandinho, Ederson,
And De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah.
So, like, apart from Kevin De Bruyne, the other 3 are not options really in FPL. De Bruyne is starting to play a little bit deeper. So,
The goals are going away. Yeah.
yeah,
And the
so
assists are going away.
yeah, his assists are going away, which probably means the only one really worth your time is Sterling, but he's 11.5 million, just too expensive because you can get Aubameyang and Salah for 0.5 more, Mane for 0.4 more, Bruno for £1 million less. So, yeah, probably, oh man, if I had to pick one, maybe Foden at 6.5.
But he's probably not going to start that often either.
Yeah, so him as like your 4th, 5th choice midfielder, if you really feel obliged to put in a Man City player. But yeah, otherwise, maybe Walker, 6 million. He's played quite a lot of games,
Yeah.
but Cancelo's there now, so they might rotate. I think he's going to play Aki at left back, so I think it will be Cancelo and Walker against each other at right back. So yeah, Man City I'd avoid, to be honest.
Yeah, so I think someone's asking KDB or Bruno. I think between the two, you'd pick Bruno.
Yeah. Although I do have a theory that I think Bruno came in at a point where the league and the teams were just here, there, and everywhere. Teams in the Premier League always learn how to come up against players.
Yeah.
So I think people think he's going to be getting goals and assists every single game. He's definitely going to slow down, I think, in a big way, in my opinion.
But then you could argue that then you would bet on someone like Van de Beek, right? Because they don't know how he plays yet.
But I guess the problem with Van de Beek is, and Azeem, I think you're a Manchester United fan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Problem with Van de Beek is he's not going to get goals and assists. He's like the pass before the pass, or the run that makes the space to score, like create a play. He's literally like a virus in FPL terms. Like, avoid that guy at all costs. I'd probably say that. Also, I don't know how loyal your audience is. Probably very loyal because your show's absolutely top. But just want to say, there's 645 people watching and there's 384 likes. Just move your cursor, hit the like, move your cursor back. Yeah.
Smash that like button. Destroy it.
Sandeep Singh saying that this is his sort of team. He's got Leno and McCarthy. He's got Lamptey, Sass, Justin, Mitchell Douglas, KDB, Oba as captain, Rodriguez, Willian, Wijnaldum, Werner, Bamford, and Martinelli.
Oh, there's a lot of names. Let me scroll.
No, Martial.
Martial, what did I say?
Martinelli, you said.
Oh, sorry. That was earlier. Apologies.
Is this team in the chat?
But it's a while ago. So basically, it's Leno and McCarthy as goalkeepers, Lamptey, Saiss, and Justin as his three starting defenders, with Mitchell and Douglas on the bench. KDB, Aubameyang as captain, Rodriguez, Willian as the midfielders, with Wijnaldum on the bench, and Martial, Werner, and Bamford on there. I think Wijnaldum's probably going to be on his way out, so I would avoid that. Looks quite likely. The Barcelona situation is just an entire thing on its own, so we'll talk about that in a bit.
Okay.
It's a tricky one. If you can make the money, I would maybe look at moving Wijnaldum. Honestly, I haven't even looked at him as an asset. You're probably the only person in the game who has Wijnaldum.
Yeah.
But I'd probably switch Wijnaldum to a playing five, maybe Souček, who plays for West Ham. He gets in the box a lot. He almost plays in like Fellaini's position. Remember Fellaini for Everton and United? The guy just stands in the box and just like scratches defenders' eyeballs out. Souček is the new version of that. So I'd look at him. So you have someone off the bench. But the team looks quite good. I know Asher Cole just said in the chat, Souček is a very, very defensive midfielder. Actually, you'll be surprised. I think last season he scored 4 goals and got 4 assists in about 12 games. And also in Moisey, man, it doesn't matter if he's a defensive midfielder or the most attacking. He's going to play wherever Moisey tells him. So, I think, I'd stick with that. Also, your audience is definitely very loyal. You just went from like 350 to like 496. You lot are sick.
Yeah.
Love that.
All right, why stop there? Let's make it 500. Anyway, thank you to Tathagata, who's always here with his #1 fan badge. Sahil Bora has actually spent his money wisely. This is our manager who keeps sending us Superchats.
It's our manager who spends on our stream.
Yeah,
so
which we're going to have to pay him the commission back. It's so stupid. Okay, so
This is how the rich keep getting rich.
Yeah, he's like the Mino Raiola of the stream. Anyway, who is this season's Lundstrom? So he says for him it's Lamptey or Alioski. Like
from what we've seen, I backed Tariq Lamptey early because I watched him last season. I really like him, and Brighton can now play 3 at the back, so he's literally playing like a right winger.
Yeah.
And he's improved his game going forward a lot. He's actually better than Wan-Bissaka going forward now.
Yep. Most fullbacks are.
I only said that because I've watched like one of your videos where you're ripping into Wan-Bissaka. I'd probably say maybe Lamptey. I think Lundstrom, man, he's an anomaly. Every year you do have a Lundstrom, but not like that. Like an out of player position for a newly promoted team, scoring goals and getting assists, over 150 points. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know,
There was
man.
one season, Lundstrom was also replaced by Tarkovsky, who
Yeah.
was like, just like a legit defender who's getting you goals. It was weird.
Yeah, probably
All right.
probably Lamptey. Maybe if we go a little bit further, someone at Leeds like Ailing at 4.5 gets forward a lot. But Leeds' system will tire eventually. They can't press every single game.
Yep.
Okay,
Definitely.
somebody else has a question, which is very close to what my question could have been. Pulisic for Pulisic for which Leeds midfielder, or should we just bench him?
Bench him for now. Pulisic will come good. But you're a Chelsea fan, you know.
Yeah.
Pulisic. I think he's at the end of last season we started to see what he can do. And so I'm not concerned at all this season. My only ever so slight concern is when Werner played for Leipzig, they played in a 4-2-2-2, and Werner always played off the left. And even against Brighton, when Werner starts to tire, he basically goes and plays like a left winger. So, and Pulisic doesn't look that comfortable coming inside without the ball. He's quite comfortable staying inside on the ball, but without the ball, he won't come inside. That's my only concern. But Pulisic, I think, could have a really big season this year. I'd bench him for now. Don't sell him.
Yeah.
Okay. There was on a related note, someone was asking, Amanpreet was asking, Pulisic and Firmino out and Martial and Barnes in. What do you think of that?
I mean, that's like having butter chicken without the butter. Martial is good, yeah. Barnes, though, on the other hand, is not, in my opinion. I mean, in an FPL sense, he's a good footballer, but his final product's not great. That's a tricky one. I would try and get Martial and James in, or Martial and Zaha is better option than Barnes. I think Zaha's got more final product. And Palace this season now have a bit more going forward because they've got Eze and Batshuayi, so they could be pretty good on the counter attack. So yeah, probably that. That's an awful pick though. That's like I don't know how I can compare that. That's like having Wan-Bissaka's defensive ability or Trent's attacking ability. Flip of a coin.
Interesting. So interesting stat that we had. Just quickly wanted to bring that up about since we were talking about Bamford and Firmino. Did you know that Patrick Bamford now has the same number of goals at Anfield as Roberto Firmino in the last 500 days?
By the way, I have Bamford in my team. Just saying.
Nice.
I mean, it's a shit stat. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but these are one of those really reach for the stars stats. Nehal Kulkarni is also asking, what do you think of Aston Villa this season?
I'd hold back for now because they've made a lot of transfers and they're constantly making changes. Ollie Watkins, people are talking about Ollie Watkins, but I always think like a player that comes from a team like Brentford who are on the attack a lot in their league, and then he comes to playing for Villa where he's not going to get as many chances and he's going to be basically scraping the barrel. You're hoping for him to be absolutely on form. And then Grealish, I don't think Grealish will produce numbers like last year because last year was crazy for him. So I'd hold fire. I think Villa definitely holds fire on. There's certain teams that I try and avoid a little bit. Like for now, I'd maybe put some money into Leeds because they've started the season like on fire. A little bit like Pookie last year with Norwich. Maybe pick a Jack Harrison or maybe even Bamford, but I wouldn't go too close to Bamford. There's a couple of players in there, but teams like Villa, probably like even Newcastle, Palace as well a little bit, bar Zaha. There's like 3 or 4 teams that I think just try and avoid them a little bit for now until the season starts to pick up a bit of shape.
No, that's what I've been doing with United.
Do you do your wild card pretty much 1 week after the transfer window, or do you give it some time and you wait till like in the earlier
international
season,
break,
wait till like September, October?
Hey Neville, just use your wild card. I know you just want to use it.
No, I'm not using it. I'm not going to use it. I don't use it anyway till.
I think you'll just wake up at 4 a.m. one day and you'll be like, "Fuck this, dude. Fuck this."
That will be 3 weeks after transfer deadline is over. But yeah.
I mean, it's weird this season because the transfer window's never been this late. So it's weird because I was thinking the same. Like, if I use my wild card straight after the transfer window, I think there's an international break like a week later. If there's like 4 injuries and I just transfer all the players in, I'm screwed. So I would wait just for that week. Depends how badly you're doing, actually. If you're doing really badly and you know your team needs like 5 changes, then yeah, wild card. But yeah,
So guys,
otherwise-
I'll just be right back up to a wild card.
And really quickly, what's your strategy on minuses? When do you start taking? Do you start?
You know,
taking January?
this is the thing, right? I used to always say never take minuses, and then right at the end of last season, I was chasing someone in my mini league, and we were like 6 points apart, and I just started panicking and taking like minuses every week, and the guy ended up winning the league by 40 points, and he texted me saying, "Bro, you're shit," and I was like, "Bro, I took like 40 points worth of minuses. That's why you won the league." So my advice would be don't take hits unless you're absolutely desperate to take hits.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we had a couple of questions left, which was yes, Abhishek Rai. We have read your last chat. He's calling them 4 chats. It's so sweet. I love him. And okay, is it good to go heavy on United for this week? It is never good to go heavy on United at any time, Sai Krishna. I don't care what Rambo has to say.
Fan.
I'm telling you, it's never a good time to go heavy on United.
No, but I think Rashford can be a good buy. But how much is he?
Rashford is now he's a forward now as well, no? Because Rashford, the thing is, he's the sort of that Wayne Rooney kind of forward where he'll give you like goals for 7 games and then will give you nothing for another 10 games. So yeah, I try to.
You just have to
Isn't
find
that
that
every
7 games.
forward in Manchester United?
Yeah, well, fair.
Yeah, I mean, you answered the question. I'm the same. It's a brand new season. Rashford's a midfielder now at 9.5 million.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Like Martial's a
Yeah.
better bet for sure.
Yeah. I don't feel like there's a very good asset at all. United looked really tired at the end of last season. Really tired.
Yeah.
But I'll make you a deal. Also, by the way, the guys have definitely not told me to do this. If you hit 600 likes, I'll tell you the exact player at United you should get in. 50 likes.
Alright.
There you go.
Oh.
Wow.
All right.
Neville is
Rambo,
gonna
can I just tell
recycle
you-
all these dialogues for the next podcast.
Yeah, no, exactly. Rambo, by the way, you have marketed this podcast better than we have. It's it's stunning.
I mean, the
These are
best
all
marketing
UK
thing was-
catch lines.
We hit 600 likes. I take off my T-shirt. That's not working. Right?
Rambo will go to his team and say, "Smash that like button."
Yeah.
So Rambo's is going to be like 700 and he keeps it on.
Francis Joe asks, can Arsenal challenge for the title if they sign both Aouar and Partey?
That's
since
Aouar,
Arteta
I
is
think he
doing pretty-
means. For some
Aouar. And Partey.
तेरा
since
stream में मैं
Arteta-
कुछ भी बोल.
since Arteta is doing pretty good and has got a vision for the team.
I think I like Arsenal. I like Arteta. Hossam Aouar is going to be like one of the best midfielders to have played in this.
That's the only reason I don't say it. Because then I have to auto-complete it with Aouar.
Yeah, I think the thing I think people forget is the title, the distance between Arsenal and Liverpool and Man City is huge. It's not like 1 or 2 games. It's like 30, 40 points. So getting them, you need to bring in Partey, Hossam Aouar. You probably need another striker. You need better defenders because at the moment,
David Luiz out.
Yeah.
at the moment, like it looks good because you're keeping clean sheets against Fulham, but there will come a point where David Luiz has a mad moment and trips someone up in the box and kicks him in the head and gets sent off. So yeah, I mean the title is you have to think Liverpool and Man City have been developing Man City less, but Liverpool for 4 or 5 years have been developing this team to challenge for a title. So for Arsenal to reach that in the second or year and a half of Arteta, I think is like nearly impossible.
Also, the Liverpool performance against Leeds, right? There's a lot of people who are going like, this is not the same team that performed so well for the last 2-3 seasons, right? Like, do you think there's a decline or a stagnation in Liverpool?
I mean, if you think back to the first game of the season, last season, we played against Norwich, and it was 4-1, I think. But it could have been 4-3. Norwich had so many chances. They hit the post twice as well.
Yeah.
I think the temptation, I think people love this narrative of like a team wins a title and then everything goes to shit.
Yeah.
I think Liverpool signing Thiago is massive because like he's won everything in the game there is to win as an individual and also as in a team.
Yeah.
And Liverpool's one problem was that the only area they could have improved on in their first 11 was a creative midfielder. He's not creative, but he gets you out of problems that Liverpool can't get out of at the moment.
Yeah.
I think the narrative on Liverpool dropping off is an interesting one, but not one that's actually got legs.
Yeah, you have to actually wait till December for that narrative to be true.
Hey, man.
And then it starts in January.
Azeem has been writing on Manchester United for the last 2-3 seasons. So
Yeah, I write off United like first week of August. I've written them off already.
Sarbulan Singh has done the most ultimate thing. He's taken a -4, replacing Trent for Lamptey. So
This is just masochism now.
Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Oh, bro, you panic.
Kanishka is asking, is it a good idea to keep Son and Kane for the next game?
Southampton.
No.
Oh, okay.
Actually, Southampton.
I think you should rather keep Son for now, because I feel there's a thing like Kane and Son will never fire together. This is what I think. Okay, and I
As
feel
a
right
Spurs
now
fan, you would be
Son
in a
is more.
position to say
Dude,
that.
I've been watching Kane. It's like, and also Kane for the first few games every season he just doesn't score.
Yeah, it was an
Just,
August thing, but it's no longer an August thing.
Yeah, it's no longer. But for the first few, like he needs like 3 or 4 games, and then after he gets his first scrappy goal, that's when he gets it on. Like he becomes like a steam engine. But initially, I think you should rather take Son.
Yeah, I agree. I think also if you have Kane and Son for yes, Joel's like yes, knowledge. If you have Kane and
All or
Son,
nothing.
for this week, Southampton have been playing a high line. They just conceded 2 goals against Brentford by playing a high line. So I can imagine Son might get a return, Kane might get a return. There's no reason to panic this week. I'd hold them this week because Southampton don't look all there, and then see where you're at next week.
Fair.
Wow.
Interesting question.
Also amazing how Rambo knows to the decimal what is the value of a player.
Rambo, do you watch matches from like a hawk? Not a hawk, from a bird's eye view.
I just I sit in the middle of the pitch, and I'm always there.
That's why.
But on a serious note, does FPL make you a better analyst of the game? Like just being incredibly involved with the FPL?
To be honest, I just watch a lot of sport. So, there was a guy the other day. I posted a video on my Twitter, and he said, "Do you ever leave your room?" I think he's right. I literally don't. I just watch. I watch football constantly. I think one thing that FPL probably teaches you, probably more than just watching football normally, is appreciating players you don't know enough about. So I didn't really watch. I wouldn't want to watch Burnley Crystal Palace 90 minutes. But now that Tyrone Mitchell's playing, I'm like, yes, Mitchell! Big man, Mitchell! FPL makes you want to watch the worst type of football and support players that you've never supported. So I think analyst-wise, FPL's different. People ask for predictions, so it's not really analysing. But I just watch a lot of football. I watch a lot of cricket. And then I'd read up about a lot of players on The Athletic, watch other people's content. And then you just end up in a situation where you just have so much detail about players.
Yeah, and also
The Athletic is a beautiful publication. Sorry, that's
yeah. No. Continue.
No, I mean The Athletic is just great football journalism. Dude. Those articles are just too good.
Just imagine if they had actually given us money for this. Okay.
Man, their subscription is by the way, it's damn expensive. It's what? It's more expensive than Netflix, Amazon, and everything.
Yeah.
It's actually £1 a month now for the next 12 months.
All right, Joel, this is your cue.
Wait, Joel has to calculate. He has to convert it.
Yeah.
Give him a second. He has to convert it. Give him a second. Someone said, sorry, Azeem, you were going to say something, or should I take a super?
No, I forgot now. Continue.
Sai Krishna is asking, I have Bruno, Werner, and Martial. Who should be captain? Bruno.
Warner.
Martial.
Martial over Bruno.
What a wonderful moment.
I think against Crystal Palace, they won't give a penalty away. That genuinely, I'm not even taking the mick. Palace
Man, these
really...
are damn specific, dude. They won't give a penalty away. They won't look right. They won't give...
I think at the moment, the record that Palace have given the least penalties in the last 2 or 3 seasons. So I don't think they'll give a penalty away. And also the way Palace defend, they'll play 2 banks of 4, 1 in between. There'll be very little space for Bruno. And that's the exact sort of game that Martial might turn up in. So it's a flip of a coin, really, between Bruno and Martial. I think Werner will score against Liverpool. Liverpool play a high line. and Werner plays off the left channel exactly where Trent and Gomez play. And if there's two players that are susceptible to quick players that can get in behind them, it's Gomez and Trent. So there might be some moments where he's not going to play 90 minutes because he had a dead leg 2 days ago. So unless the guy's like found a new leg, then he's not gonna play.
I just
once again, Neville, does any of your put as much thought as Rambo puts in?
Oh no.
Of course.
Oh, no chance.
No chance.
He's the specialist here. Like we've made him 4 times our size on the poster. Okay, like, there's a reason.
Listen,
this guy's got a dead leg. There's no penalty 2 years. He keeps a picture in his wallet. All such specifications.
Rambo hosts a show about the FPL. Like we host a podcast in which we get 80% of our facts wrong.
This is true. Of which
and when you call Harry Maguire Haguire.
Yes, Haguire.
You know these puns are destroying your viewership.
Or are they building it?
Reminds me, guys, smash that like button.
Also, I just want to ask this other question, which is that so like you say, right? Like for the last 2 seasons, they haven't been giving penalties. So how much of a historical precedence, like how much of a part does it play in your selection?
Probably for things like how a team defends is quite important, because if a team's not giving away penalties, it means they're not putting in poor challenges in the box. Actually, Palace don't even make many challenges in the box; just put a lot of blocks in.
Yeah.
So I look at things like that. And then in terms of like history, like someone like Salah at home loves playing at home, doesn't enjoy playing away from home. Little things, but I wouldn't look at like, say, Willian gets loads of assists from set pieces for Chelsea, so he's probably going to do the same for Arsenal. He has done that now. They did get 2 in his first game, but I think the type of caliber that Chelsea have in the box compared to Arsenal makes the difference. There's a lot of variables. I probably pay a lot of attention to history when it comes to defending, because that, like, often in teams don't tend to change centre backs too often.
Yeah.
So centre back pairings tend to stay the same in a lot of teams. And then obviously you watch, which we call the eye test. You watch how they defend, and then you can match the stats or the history with that. So if you watch Palace defend, for example, Cahill and Tompkins very, very, very rarely will throw themselves into a tackle in the box. They will normally just stand next to the person until they shoot, and they shoot, they block, and it gets away. So
not like Zuma, you mean? Okay, I understand.
Zuma loves to put people onto the floor in the box for some reason. He loves to wrestle inside the box.
If he ever gets to them, otherwise he's just leaving them 6 meters away, like he needs to.
Yes,
there should be a
Neville
defense
and
made
Zuma
of.
have a bit of a history on this show. Yeah.
Also, we just hit 600 likes, so the Manchester United asset, Neville's not going to take his t-shirt off.
Okay, can we guess before you reveal it?
Yeah, you're going to guess it though, which ruins the game for them.
Yeah. No, go for it.
It'd be Mason Greenwood, 7.5 million, plays in the front line. Manchester United don't have any other options. Daniel James is obviously the other option, but they don't really trust him, and the fans don't really like him. So I'd say Greenwood is the very likely United option that I'd go for. Certainly for the first 10, 11 games, then I think he'll start to get rotated as he tires. So yeah, Greenwood would be my man. Also, this one's just for Joel, because he loves that I'm seeing things. I'm like Ozil in his mind. Mason Greenwood against the next 3 oppositions has scored. The teams he's coming up against have conceded more goals from their left channel than any other.
Wow.
Yeah, this I knew.
I swear to you.
I just knew this part. I know Bale is coming, and I know the next 3 games. Left channel is parked.
Wow.
If someone said left channel so many times, I would check my left earphone. Like, that's how it would be.
No, so I mean, this is the kind of analysis I only do in Football Manager. Like when I know like I have a big game coming up with Crew Alexandra against Manchester United, then I'm like, okay, cool. Now we analyze where the goals are coming from.
Yeah.
Interesting. But what
By
is
the
your
way, there's
resource?
one book that okay, sorry.
Continue, Joel, and then I'll ask.
No, there's one football book which I've been reading. Some book, Talking Tactics. Do you recommend that? Do you know about this book? It's called After This You'll Never Watch Football Again the Same Way.
I haven't read the book, no.
But do you know about the book?
No, I genuinely I tend to read articles because I just don't have the attention span for a book. I read like what books? I've got like the Prisoners of Geography. That's the sort of stuff that I read. Like stuff that I don't already know a lot about. And maybe I should read it if you recommend, if it's good.
It's Joel.
Like whatever I've read, I felt like I knew this, so I don't think you should. Like this is nothing for you.
Does it have that there are 3
Left
goals
channel
on the left
and all
channel?
that shit.
Listen, Rambo, I don't know if you realize, but Joel is just really glad that there's one thing you didn't know. Okay, that's all this was about. This is not about the book at all.
No, because that book seemed a bit too naive. I'm like, if I know this, then I'm sure a lot of people know this.
Azeem, you were gonna ask Rambo his resource.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, like, what kind of resources do you look at to like get these kind of details? Like, these clubs concede a lot of goals around the left. Where do you find that kind of information?
So you have SofaScore is very good. You can look at average position. SofaScore, yeah, you can look at average position of players, how many touches they've had, in what areas they've had touches. Obviously, the FPL website or the Premier League website has a lot of in-depth stats if you just put in the right search bars.
That's where you use the search bar.
Also, he sits in the center of the pitch. That's how.
Yeah,
it's everything.
I see it all.
Yeah, he's the one who actually like makes the heat maps.
Yeah, hand designed, handcrafted. FB Ref is a good website for like XG, and you can get in-depth stats. That's a really good website actually.
Is FP Ref also the same website that tells you how shitty some refs are, like in the FA Cup final? Okay, no.
I think on this occasion, ref is short for reference, but don't know what Fantasy Football Scout is pretty good, but they're a subscription base. So Joel's about to go. He's gone to get that tactics book. I fucking read this.
You want to read a football book? Just watch this. Cowtuk has written a book called.
Where is it, Cowtuk?
Oh yeah, promotion time. It's called Red Card. It's a fiction book, and it has nothing about the left channel. But I want to ask you this, Rambo. How do you rely on intuition at all in picking teams? And what was the one player you picked on intuition that gave you the highest reward? Like just a fluke.
I mean, it wasn't a fluke. Last season, the Danny Ings thing, which actually I don't know if you guys know, but he sent me like a video and said like, I want you to triple captain me before the Leicester game, and they lost 9-0.
Danny Ings sent you a video.
Yeah. Wait, I'll get it on my phone whilst we chat. But yeah, he basically sent me a video saying like, triple captain me before this Leicester game, and then I did like a thread on Twitter, and I was like looking at his Instagram, and he was online, and the game had kicked off, and I was like, and my whole family was sat watching it, and I was like, Mum, has Ings come on? She said, Ings, no, he's not on. I was like, he got subbed. I was like, he got subbed, and he's my triple captain. So yeah, that caught a lot of fire, but in the end, it came out good, because the thing was about Danny Ings, I watched him a lot of Burnley, I watched him a lot of Liverpool. And he's just a goal scorer. So I just thought if he's fit, he'll score. I read some stuff about him doing Pilates, and I knew that was the sort of help he needed. And I was like, okay, this is the guy, man. Otherwise,
like what do you do? Somebody just tells you make me triple captain. You make him, I guess. What else? How many times will it happen in your life? Bana mere ko. Okay, bye. Bana diya.
I'm going to find you the video, but yeah, I didn't have a choice. So I triple captained him against my will. They lost 9-0, and then I just sort of like just stuck with him.
Imagine they lost 9-0 and Danny Ings was a defender.
After they lost 9-0, you should have sent that video back to Danny Ings.
I had an intuition moment, which was great. Like 3 seasons ago, Salah was playing, and Salah, I triple captained him in a non-double game week, and I got like 64 or something like that, which was insane. Yeah, I just felt
That's not divisible by 3.
60, whatever, something.
63.
Whatever is divisible by 3.
Just let him have it. Bonus point.
No, it was fine. I genuinely did.
Okay, you're going to show us the video.
Yeah, here you go. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Rambo, it's Danny Ings. Thank you very much for putting me in your FPL team. I really appreciate it. Some would say you're stupid, but no, I do really appreciate it. But if you really love me, you would triple captain me this weekend.
Oh man.
I think you were on the wrong. I think you were on the wrong network, and it reached you late. He was talking about another weekend. It was clearly not this weekend.
No, I have a feeling the guy who won your league sent him to do this.
Yeah.
It's very possible. There's an interesting super chat here. Can you share some insights you gained from Joshua B?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna make you a deal again. I'm gonna promote the shit out of this because it's the first time I'm doing it. We're on 625 likes. There's 697 people here, but not all of you like this. I know that because I can see everything. I'm in all your houses and you don't even know it. So when this reaches 666 likes, I'll tell you about Joshua B. Deal?
Wow.
Oh.
Symbolic numbers.
Yes. Number of the beast. In the meanwhile, there's a guy who's...
Are we taking notes from Rambo on how to actually...
Oh yeah, done. I think the next stream is going to be how to stream Crash Course, but just for us to watch. This is Stone Eagle who sent in a super chat saying Sterling, Oba, Saka, KDB and Lansbury in midfield. Bamford, Rodrigo, Werner in front and Martinez and Pope in goal. Interesting. So that's Sterling, Aubameyang, Saka, KDB and Lansbury in midfield. I don't think Saka's going to start too many games.
Yeah. Saka, I had him in my team and I don't fancy him to start too many games. I'm going to come to that in a second just because someone just put 666 likes from the left channel.
It's done.
It's done. So I'll just quickly say I'd try and find an alternative for Saka. He's at 5.5 million. He'll probably go down in price because people are going to start selling him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd find an alternative Saka. I'd again have to go to Stoichek. St. Maximan maybe at 5.5 is a good option. Maybe Harrison at 5.5 at Leeds is a good option.
Yeah.
Also, the likes just went down. You scumbags. It went from 666 down to 662. I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to fall for that. Get it back up to 666.
Get it back up. 4 more.
Wait, who is
now they're just removing likes for fun.
Yeah.
Guys, don't do this.
Who's sick enough to go, I'm going to like this as soon as he's told me I'm going to unlike it? Why are you doing that? All right, we're on 666. Oh, it's down. Wait,
665.
what is it on?
Damn it. Now we're at 659. This is the worst stock market.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm giving you 1 like right now, Azeem.
Thanks, man. But you realize कि सब हरामी लोग में से 1 person will unlike just to mess with you now, no?
Alright, 672, let's do it quickly.
All right, 676. Okay, we're sorted. So Joshua Bull. So I've had him on quite a few streams, and he's really into maths. He knows a lot about maths, and he's like completely in a different zone when he's picking players. But probably the biggest tip from him was to be patient with your players. So often a lot of people like to tinker. So even after game week 1, I mean, the most transferred out player was Werner with 490,000 transfers out after he got an assist against Brighton and he's fit to play against Liverpool. Yeah. So, I mean, I think he was saying just stick with players. If there's a player who you think is out of form, look at the stats. He's very heavy on XG and XA, which you can find on football FB Ref. You'll find out about XG, and if someone's XG is high, he believes at some point that XG is going to come through.
What is XG for those of us who don't know? And that means me.
XG.
But for people who don't know, cowtuk, okay?
Joe, obviously you know what XG is. You want to explain?
Thank you, Rambo.
It's the next chapter in that book.
XG is expected goals. So you have a rating on expected goals. So someone like Bruno has a really high XG because when you take penalties, it's 50-50 chance of scoring a penalty. If you're shooting from 50 yards out, I can't think of anyone in the Premier League, maybe like a Pogba, then his XG is going to be lower because the chances are more difficult. Yeah. Same for expected assists, is if you create chances and people aren't taking them, then they will obviously, your XA, expected assist, is going to go down. So he looks at a lot of them sort of things. But generally, I mean, his best FPL tip is just stay patient. He was saying there's a lot of moments last year where he stuck with Vardy when other people didn't. And then at the end of the season, Vardy came really good. So yeah, probably his best tips, I'd say.
Do you think something like a money ball would work? Like where you really statistically, like mathematically analyze it with like algorithms and stuff like that to be able to win it? Because last year, Magnus Carlsen did really well for some reason.
Yeah, he finished 11th, right?
Yeah, he does really well every year. I think he's got an 11th finish, a 5th finish. He's pretty good at FPL. I don't know if that's by chance.
Wow.
Because there'll be a lot of chess players playing FPL, but
Yeah,
because
like Joel.
obviously,
I'm a club
All-rounder.
chess player. Yeah, I play chess like I play full press.
yeah, I mean, I think the thing about football with Moneyball is they were analyzing like one player in a certain system or a certain team and a certain value, whereas FPL has too many variables and you're competing against everybody else who's also competing on the same variables. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult to like pick a team and think because of the variables I've chosen, my team's going to do very well because Werner, for example, is chosen by 50% of the game. So you can't beat someone who's also chosen Werner. So you're basically trying to search for a needle in a haystack. Moneyball is individual. So I don't think
unless you had a whole team of differentials with Moneyball, then
that would pull that off. But that's the problem with FPL, right? No one's a differential because in 2 weeks your differential is everybody's differential because everybody now has him.
Yeah. That's true.
Elon Pandey asks switch ASM for Harrison and click for KWP for Dallas.
Click or KWP, Kyle Walker
for
Peters
Dallas. Click.
No, wait. Sorry, it's Alan Sand Maximan for Harrison / click or Kyle Walker Peters
KWP for Dallas.
KWP for Dallas. What was the first one? Harrison for ASM.
Yeah, Harrison or click.
Harrison or click for ASM.
I'd go Harrison for ASM only because he started the season well, so he's going to be on a little bit of a hype. ASM didn't really do anything. KWP, I'm not too sure. Southampton don't look very strong at the moment.
Yeah. So, I mean, this was a question I had. Who are the players who were really reliable last season that you wouldn't go for this season? Like, we had Lundstrom was one of those. I thought that, I mean, I'm personally not going to go for a lot of Sheffield players this season because I think they're going to struggle this year.
Yeah, no Tarkovsky.
And no, that's Burnley. And yes, Sheffield and Burnley are two teams that I might avoid. Like Nick Pope he was the number one keeper for a lot of people last season. What do you think of that? Like Burnley and Sheffield specifically?
Now I'll give you a completely theoretical answer that will just destroy your argument. So.
I think Burnley will be fine. Burnley have kept clean sheets every single year. I think Pope kept 15 last year, 15 the season before that. So I think Burnley will be fine. If Tarkovsky leaves, that changes things at Burnley because he's the main man. He's the only one who can play out from the back for them. But I'd stick with Burnley. I'd say stick with Burnley. I think Charlie Taylor's a good pick, by the way, 4.5 million. They play this week, so I'd get him in early. Sheffield United, I think Sheffield United will fall off a little bit this season because they've lost Henderson. I think the problem they've got is Ramsdale is so used to playing in goal behind a defence that concedes a lot of shots on goal that now that he's getting less frequent shots, he just doesn't have the concentration. Both the goals against Wolves, he was completely out of and he's been sort of like, I mean, he got caught out for it last year quite a few times. When Bournemouth were playing well, he'd often switch off and he'd be the one who makes the mistake. I would probably avoid Sheffield United defenders for the time being, but they're expensive this year. The other players that I'd potentially avoid is maybe Man City players this year. So like your Mahrez, your Bernardo Silvas, only because I think he's going to rotate even more because Pep really wants the Champions League. So where Mahrez was starting like 25 games last year and Bernardo started like 15, 16, they've got Ferran Torres as well now. I don't see them as really good FPL options where last season they were okay options.
How about Rodrigo?
Leeds is Rodrigo. Not for me. He's a system player. He scored 4 goals last year in Spain. He averages like 6 goals a year. But he makes the system work, but he's not going to really contribute that many goals. His record, I think, was good when he was at Benfica, maybe. But also the other thing to point to look at with him is he gave a penalty away in his first game, and people killed him for that. And he's brand new to the league. He's not going to like that. Fans are already killing him for making one little sloppy error in the first game, so he might struggle a little bit in that sense. But I don't. I mean,
Oh.
I think I think for Valencia, he scored like 30 goals in 150 games, maybe something like that. For a striker, that's not great.
Yeah.
Also, how much of psychology do you consider before picking players? Like like you just said, like he's made a mistake, fans are against him, he's not going to be in the right mind space. Like, how much of that do you consider?
Massively, because when we were chatting about books, I looked to my side, and my books currently I have Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is a psychology book, and financial. Prisoners of Geography, which is a lot about psychology and history. Imran Khan's biography, which is a lot about his psychology. And Why We Sleep, which is all about psychology. So
That's a great book. Yeah.
yeah. So I would say I consider it massively. I try and like look at how a player's, like with Jimenez, for example, in the last 2 seasons, I think he's had a baby, or 2 out of the last 3 seasons. Always returns the week after. Always. So this guy's obviously pumped after having a baby. I'd say like, I think psychology.
This is found on which website? The baby part. XG.
So Rambo, now I have to stalk players' wives who are going to deliver children to me.
Hey man, you gotta do what it takes to win, man.
That is amazing.
Man,
That is
you think
amazing.
Carlson does that? You think बच्चा किसको हुआ, ठीक है.
I think.
Oh man, dude, Rambo, you're discouraging people from playing fantasy league. By the way, no, this is not promoting.
I think in England you get so much news about players constantly. So like you always get told like his baby's due next week, or like Harry Maguire beat up someone in Greece.
Yeah.
So
Like
you
we
get
would
told-
have all this information about the IPL for like Dream 11
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah. So when I was in India, that was the thing with IPL. I knew everything about everyone's like personal life. So I knew like Hardik Pandya dresses like a prat for no reason and thinks he's like absolutely massive when he's skinny as hell. And like people are like, oh, Hardik Pandya went out last night. It's the same in England. Like you get all this information on players. But I think psychology in general is one of these things in football, especially. Every club now has a psychologist, so every club really gives a shit about psychology. So I think there's certain things with players that happen that you have to pay close attention to. Like when Lingard, for example, Lingard's a bad example, ignoring Lingard. Dele Alli, when he did the
And Dombele. Okay.
yeah, never an option. Dele Alli had his thing with Boohoo where I guess like he did a modelling shoot and the pundits killed him for it. He didn't score then for like 5 or 6 weeks. So yeah, I think psychology in football, not just in FPL, plays a big.
Okay, since we're talking about babies, Roberto Soldado, one of the reasons they said he sucked at Tottenham is because his wife had multiple miscarriages.
Wow.
So how are you supposed to show up like, hey, my baby died, now score?
That's fair. That's fair.
That's why. Oh man, that's sad. But yeah. He had
I-
multiple miscarriages.
Yeah,
Or maybe his kids saw Soldado. I'm like, fuck this dude. Fuck this.
Okay, very dark then.
Okay. Sorry.
I can't comment in case he comes back to the Premier League and I lose my job for it. So yeah, I think the thing with people like Soldado is, well, he come from a different country and his style of play is so like laissez-faire, like he's so relaxed and he can be frustrating for fans, especially fans like Tottenham. I always look at the team and always think like, what is their fan base like? And if your fan base is like Sheffield United or a Wolves who really get behind their players when they're playing badly, then you'll be okay. It's fans that have a big expectation for every single signing, and that's where it's different. Also, this guy is spamming the chat with the same question over and over again.
Yeah, but there's a super chat before that, so we will ignore that spam.
Yeah. Wait, where are the
This is how
mods
the rich
today?
keep getting richer.
Where are the mods today? Why are the mods not doing their
क्या
job?
कर रहे हैं तुम लोग?
Hey, Azeem, मेरे को mod बना ना तेरे इस पे.
Arey, that's too much work. But I'll make you, yeah.
With one hand, it's too much work.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ashmeet Singh has said, my game week 2 lineup is a 3-4-3. We don't allow that on 4-4-2, but it's a 3-4-3. Thoughts? Ryan Robertson, Justin, Ailing, Oba, Bruno, Son, Pereira from West Brom, Werner, Adams, Mitrovic, Bruno in, and Salah out for game week 2.
Okay, rule number 1: don't ever take Salah out. He scored the most points in FPL 2 of the last 3 seasons. He scored over 160 points since the first game he's played in the Premier League, so as in for Liverpool. So don't take him out. Ryan Robertson's Justin Ailing, it's not bad. Robertson's a very, very cheeky differential. His ownership's still high, but a lot of people have Trent and they don't have both. Aylin's a good option because I don't fancy Fulham to score. I'd get rid of Pereira. I think West Brom are going to go down, and they don't look like they can. They don't look like they've got anything to them. Slaven Bilic's tactics don't really work in the Premier League. We've seen that before. So yeah, I'd look at Pereira. He's 6 million, so there's not many options at 6 million. Maybe downgrade to someone at 5.5. I don't know if you probably got cash in the bank because your team probably, your team doesn't look like it's used all its money. So
ASM would be cheap. So would be
Sam Maximan.
Sam Maximan would be at 5.5.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he's an option, but I personally, I don't. The other change I make is swap Che Adams for Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson's a very streaky player. Every time he scores, he'll tend to go on a run of 3 or 4 games or again. So, maybe that would be the change.
All right. Nice. Okay, we'll take one last question, which is a simple one. When is FPL FYI coming back?
I will tell you the answer to this question when we hit 725 likes.
There you go. You have to do it. Should I take out Kane and put in Callum Wilson? That saves me a lot of money. Instead of Rodrigo for Mitrovic. Or should I just wait it out for one more week and make 2 changes next week?
Just make 2 changes next week because you've got Kane plays Southampton. I think he'll get a return against Southampton. So
should I leave Rodrigo in for now and just suck it up for one more week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, I don't think we have enough viewers currently to make it 725. Let's call it 700.
Yeah.
Just 2 more.
Honestly, but the thing I'm thinking is there's 651 people here, and I know you guys. I'm looking through all of your windows. I'm sat under your beds. I'm sat in your mum's kitchen. I know you all haven't liked it. All right.
All right. Yeah, we're not bad. We've reached 707. Cool.
710.
All right. Cool.
714.
Okay.
It is going up.
Rambo is clearly actually stalking everyone.
There's going to be people in their houses now saying, "Me, is there a guy in the kitchen?" 723.
725 it is. Made it.
There you go. See, Azeem, always shoot upwards. Always shoot upwards.
Yeah.
The hilarious answer is going to be, it's not coming back. That's going to be the answer.
So basically with the Premier League, because they've lost a lot of budget because of the people not coming to the games, they've lost 80% of the budget. They also lost the China deal, or they gave the China deal up because of all the stuff going on. FPL FYI is probably going to be coming back in 2021, but up until then, it won't be coming back, and then we'll see where we're at. If not, I'm very sure I'll be back next season. But me and James still do a show on his Twitch channel, which is James Alcott, every Tuesday and Friday, so you can catch us there.
Yes.
Check that show out because they deliver babies from the left channel.
And deliver great advice from the right.
Yeah.
All right, superb, cool. So I think that's pretty much a wrap. I just want to end by just showing you my favorite meme of the week, which Atharva put into our research sheet. I'm just gonna screen share. I laughed way too much at this one. Maybe you've seen it, or maybe you haven't.
Dude, he knows someone's having a child. Of course, he's seen it. This is hilarious, but
this is my favorite.
Speaking about children.
All right. On that amazing
Rambo, can I ask Rambo one question about Tottenham?
Go.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's say, oh, Azeem's paying me by the hour. Yeah, you just no, please go.
No. How do you think Bale coming into Tottenham? Okay. How do you think 2 questions? Bale coming into Tottenham. How do you think it's gonna affect him? And second, do you think a midfield of Lo Celso and Ndombele will ever play together like consistently?
No. The second question, no, because Mourinho can't stand how irresponsible Ndombele is without the ball. And I just think Mourinho's one of these guys that if he doesn't like someone, they quite literally will not get back in his good books again, which is bad because Ndombele is a superb footballer. And I think Lo Celso will play a lot of football. I think he thinks Lo Celso is his gem. Bale, on the other hand, I think Bale's going to come back with fire in his belly because he's been fit for probably 12 months, just under 12 months. Anytime he plays
playing golf is not really being... Okay, sorry.
Hey, Azeem is paying by the hour. Come on.
Yeah. So am I by that logic, but sure.
And pounds as well, not rupees. So
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, Bale. I think the thing about Bale is he's been fit for such a long time. He's got a lot of love, and the big thing he's missed is this is where psychology comes in. Like Madrid fans are giving him no love, and he's come back to Spurs, and people are queuing outside. I don't know if you've seen the video, but they're chanting. The atmosphere with him is like incredible at the moment. So I think Bale will light up the Premier League again, because people are saying he's 31, but he's so athletic and he's got like incredible physique, and his metabolism is also exceptional because he didn't play football for 6 months and came back like ripped like Hulk Hogan. So
not Eden Hazard.
But he just had a kid, so yeah.
So that means he's gonna score a lot of goals. Yeah.
Yeah, just one follow-up question on the Ndombele and
Hey
the Celso
Joel,
thing.
we're paying by the hour.
No. Just one last, just out of curiosity. I never have like an expert opinion on it. Okay?
Sure.
I swear it's
So do the rest of us.
yeah. Yeah, but do you think like a midfield of Ndombele, Lo Celso, and like Højbjerg makes sense, like in theory or in practical everything?
Probably, yeah, because I think with Højbjerg and Winks, you have two players that sort of like serve the same purpose on the ball. Off the ball, Højbjerg's really effective. I'm quite sure, not to throw out a stat, but I'm quite sure he won the most tackles last season. So he's also retrieved possession more than any other player last season. So he does more than Winks off the ball. I think the problem for Mourinho is he's almost always played with two holding midfielders that he trusts like the back of his hand. And Lo Celso isn't a holding midfielder. He can travel with the ball. He can break lines. So I think on paper, it would work for a normal manager. For Mourinho, he's going to play Winks and Højbjerg nearly every game, I think. And that only leaves you space for one more. So, yeah, personally, honestly, if it was any other manager, they would make that three work, because Ndombele on the ball is exceptionally good. I would personally just tell Højbjerg to do his legwork for him, almost like what United have done with Pogba. And then Lo Celso is just an incredible footballer. So that three should work, but it won't with Mourinho.
Thank you.
This was like one of those, like you just asked the chief guest a question. Thank you, sir.
A note on Spurs, Reguilon is an incredible signing. He's an absolute athlete.
Yes,
and,
Azeem, he's a great signing.
Yeah.
He's I think the problem for a lot of teams in the Premier League and all around the world is it's so hard to get two fullbacks that can both attack and can both defend. Reguilon will literally have wingers in his back pocket rather than the other way around because he's so athletic. So, yeah. One more thing to the chat, by the way, we're on 740, which tells me not everybody watching it has liked this video. If you hit, let's say, 775, 35 more likes. How can
what are we giving them? We're running out of things to give them now. You can have my phone. I mean,
I'll stick around and answer a couple more questions that I can see in the chat. How's that?
Nice. That is pretty good.
Let's hit 775. James Rodriguez or Traore? Traore against Man City. He's got a great record, but James is playing against West Brom. So I'd go Adama in and get DCL as well. Sorry, I've just taken over your stream. You guys answer the question. I can ask the question. I'm just sat here going.
No, that's fine. It's cool. It's great for someone else to be doing the work.
Yeah. Okay, best captain choice for the next game week.
I would say if you're a gambler and you have an Everton player in your team, like maybe a DCL or a Richarlison, if you fancy a gamble. If you want to take it easy and play it safe, then probably a Manchester United, Bruno or a Martial. There's no real safe picks this week. No one's actually got a really, really, really easy game. Someone just said Rambo is the host from next week. Yeah. So you haven't hit. if you hit 1,500 likes,
damn it, we're gonna have to sell the podcast to him, which means he's gonna have to pay us to buy it.
And he'll pay you by the hour.
Hey, but we're stuck at 764. So come on, let's move it up. 775 at least.
I think Rambo is just manufacturing people now.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the babies of Danny Ings and Gareth Bale are liking it now.
775. There's a couple of people who are desperate for me to answer the question. So Abhishek Rai, if you tell everybody
Just Abhishek's going around his entire building, sir. Please, एक like डाल दो ना मेरा question हो जाएगा.
Yeah, go.
Okay, we have a nice technical question here. Utsav asks, should I remove Son because he's close to a price drop?
No, because he's against Southampton. Kyle Walker-Peters' last game played so high up the pitch. There's always space behind him. And if you watched Tottenham's Europa League game yesterday, it was a very strange tactic from Mourinho for about 70 minutes. I think it was Kane, Son, and I want to say Lucas Moura. They basically played on the halfway line when... go on.
I just want to say this. Joel has just realized that Tottenham has played a Europa game.
That Bulgarian team, they were stopping balls with hands, the defenders and shit. They were doing a Suarez.
Yeah.
The one guy got a yellow card because he was digging the fucking penalty spot with the studs. But last month they had 8 players left.
Yeah.
Really?
Sorry,
8
I'm
players
so
left.
sorry to interrupt
Yeah.
you, Rambo. But it was just like Joel's expression of, wait, did they really play yesterday?
No. It's like I saw the game and I didn't see it. That's why I'm just hearing the tactic. So yeah, please. I can ask you Tottenham question for the whole day if Azeem was not paying you by the hour.
Yeah, they played Plovdiv, and Plovdiv, they basically played with 3 players on the halfway line at all times. And they'll do the same. I think he was basically trying out what it's like ahead of Southampton. So I think they'll basically try that out against Southampton. I think Son will return, so I don't think his price will go down.
Nice.
Interesting.
How about Martinez? How about Martinez as a goalkeeper at 4.5 who saves you $1 million?
Yeah, really good choice. I think he'll play all the time for Villa. He'll have a lot of shots on goal. So he'll make quite a few saves, I think. I don't know about clean sheets, but at 4.5 million, he's cheap. I wouldn't expect clean sheets from a 4.5 goalkeeper anyway. I'd just be looking at save points, potentially bonus points. Matt Ryan always gets bonus points because he passes the ball out so much. So, yeah. Also, just to be fair, I did say to this Abhishek guy, I can't see his question anymore. Shit. I would answer the question, but it's not there anymore. Sorry, bro. We got to 775.
No, I think that's what he wanted to know. He said Calvert-Lewin for Mitrovic or James for St. Maximin.
James for St. Calvert-Lewin for Mitrovic. No, James for St. Maximin only because Mitrovic plays against Leeds and he's going to score. Leeds will press far too high. So, yeah.
Okay.
Right. We have one question which I think Azeem has also written from Atharva's ID, which is
yeah, I think everybody's planting questions through fake IDs. I think one person has a question about Tottenham actually and Ndombele. Abhishek wants to know actually.
So the question is, does Sancho come to United?
No.
Go on, Azeem, I'll let you answer it.
No, yeah. No, listen, we've had people from Dortmund come here and tell us that he's not coming. So, I mean, there's not much more confirmation that we can get than that.
Nishant Koyu.
Read it out.
Go for it.
No, you read now.
Nishant Koyu has said, this is his team. Kaeta, Lamptey, Gabriel. Fuck, I'm blind over. Gabriel, Walker, Harrison, KDB, Click, Salah, Oba, Werner, Bamford. That's his team. His bench is Johnstone, Justin, Lewis, and Davis. What to change?
That's Johnston and not John Stones, by the way.
This is just clerical work which everyone's making Rambo do. Iska bata iska.
There's also somebody who keeps saying that make Rambo speak Hindi. I'll tell you what. 1,500 likes.
1,500 likes and we'll teach him Hindi. At 2,000 he'll start speaking.
Yeah, so all of you right now have to go out, have kids. We'll be streaming 9 months non-stop. And then, once your kids can hit that like button.
This team, Lamptey, Gabriel, Walker, Harrison, Click, Bamford. You obviously are a Leeds fan. It's a very strange team. I would start Justin over probably Click. I don't think he'll score again. But Justin playing for Leicester might get another attacking return. Yeah, I think your team's quite strange, actually. I don't know where your budget has gone. It's quite hard to decide. But I'd be looking at Bamford, 5.6 million. I'd be trying to find a different option for Bamford if you can. which would probably mean downgrading someone in your first team. I think actually big random hot take and a bit loud, but KDB's not going to get as many returns as last season. He's playing deeper, so I'd look at someone who's going to get more returns.
Okay. And Kanishka Goswami is saying Werner, Havertz, Abu. I'm assuming Oba, Hamas.
Abu is playing. Abu Jan.
So wait, Werner, Havertz, Abu, James, Son, Kane, Trent for week. I don't know what this means. Like, do you mean for this week or for game week 4? Like, could you specify?
Man, just देखो बच्चा किसका हुआ है, उसको बनाओ ट्रिपल कैप्टन. It's as simple. That's the one-liner of the stream.
Wow, we're close to 800 likes.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. All right. Someone just said 900 likes and Rambo will speak in Hindi, I think it says. If you hit 900 likes, I will speak in Hindi. There you go.
Wow.
I will be leaving in 5 minutes. I've literally been live streaming from 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's
Like,
Yeah.
how do you do this? Like, you start at like 11:30 a.m. Your time, obviously, and then just keep going. Like, I would be done, like usually, like, we're already, all of us, I think, are already done with the stream. But
It's your enthusiasm that's keeping the show going.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
bro, it's my job, innit? So if I've got, I can't really say like, I don't fancy it today. It's like being a comedian saying, yeah, I got no jokes today, so forget it. You paid, but there's no jokes today.
Hey, but you know the best part about being a comedian? We only do 1 hour in the day. This is a marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay. So what was that? What was the question we were answering? We were answering, or were we done? We're done.
No,
I
we
think.
were done. I think we're done with most of the questions I had. Let me see if I had anything on my document worth talking about. Yeah, this is a fun bit of trivia, which it said that Harry Kane and Jamie Vardy were teammates in the championship with 1 Premier League appearance between them. The last time Gareth Bale was playing for Tottenham. And since then, they've scored 250 Premier League goals between them.
Wow. I've seen the picture of them two on the bench for that
Yeah.
game. It's such a strange picture.
Yeah, mostly because of Vardy's haircut.
Man, during that time, Vanderbilt actually said in an interview, like Kane was so bad when they would go to see academic kids, they would like look at him and laugh. They like point at him. I'm like, you. And then he had like a complete 360-degree turn. And Kane doesn't even look athletic or anything, man, honestly.
That's why
we just got it.
That's why he basically just plays centre mid now. He just drops in and doesn't get in the box ever. He's so frustrating as an FPL asset. Someone asked, by the way, who do I support? I actually have something sat behind me which reveals who I support, and it's signed by a player from the team that I support. So get it to 900 likes and I'll show you.
But which team do you support? Okay, you're gonna. Okay, no.
I think we've had quite a few hints until.
But he's also given it away. He's pretty much said, like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you were listening to him, you know who he's.
Yeah. I want to know who signed it.
Interesting. So
is it a player who's playing currently? Or
Yeah.
I have a John Terry boot. If you're interested to see it at 9:21, I'll show it to you.
Yeah. But it might slip, so just be careful. You know. I had a bit of trivia, well, not trivia, just a public service announcement that Football Manager 2020, by the way, is free to keep on PC until 24th September on the Epic Game Store. So if you have ever been interested at any point in your life in Football Manager, now's the time to go get it for free.
Yeah, sick game.
Did you see that? Did you see the meme from someone took a screen grab from All or Nothing, and it's Mourinho's screen that's being cast on a screen, and he's got Football Manager on it, and people are like, 1 second, Mourinho leaves his actual job as a manager to go home and pretend to be a manager.
No, in fairness, I think he probably uses the database for scouting.
Yeah, scouting. He uses it for scouting because that.
Sorry, go on.
No, because that Football Manager database is insanely addictive. Like, you can find the best players there.
Yeah. Every club uses Football Manager apparently. That's where they get most of their sales from, because they don't make that many sales every year. Some guy just said, and I feel sorry for him now. He said, "I don't know about 900 likes. That was me. but I have liked from every phone in my family. Up to you.
Okay, I think that deserves just him being
Something.
able to see
Just
the
like,
name of the player.
ouch, that was wow.
I don't know whether to feel good or bad about that.
That's
Okay,
commitment.
wait, 1 second. Rambo, before you show it. Joel, you want to take a guess which club it is?
Yeah.
It's
One
what,
guess.
Liverpool?
Ah,
Yeah,
No, Liverpool is correct.
Liverpool
okay.
is correct.
Go for
Okay,
it.
which player sign? I don't know. I think if it's a player who's signing, then I don't know. Maybe it's a player from Liverpool. So I think
It
it's
is a player
Trent.
from
I don't
Liverpool.
know. Trent. No, I mean like it might be like local. Trent. I think it's
You mean
Trent
the guy
Alexander.
from Liverpool?
Is it Torres?
Any
No,
more
No, he's playing right
currently-
now. Isn't Trent Alexander only like the only local?
I think it's Jordan Henderson.
Azeem?
Let's see it.
I'm gonna go with the safe bet. So it is a current Liverpool player, right? So I'm gonna say Salah.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Nice.
he won Player of the Month like last year, I think, and I got invited down to like give the Player of the Month trophy to him. It was quite
Nice. Oh, awesome.
Very
So
cool.
by the way, since we were talking about the FIFA rating cards are out right now, and just fun fact, Jordan Henderson in FIFA has a higher rating than Thiago Alcantara.
Because last week I was like, yeah, it's correct. Now I'm like, nah, man, that's bullshit.
All right. And Anand Mahamuni says Bruno also had a kid. Like, did this happen like now? Because then it's a good time to triple
Yeah,
captain him.
the rule doesn't count if a person just had a kid at some point.
Yeah, at some point.
Yes, had a kid. So they have to have had it recently for it to make sense. But yeah, anyway, guys, I've made my 3 hours payment. It's time for me to go now.
Yeah, brilliant, cool. Thanks so much for joining us,
Thank
Rambo.
you.
It's been
Yes.
a lot of fun.
It was a lot
And,
of fun.
like, you've given Joel more football information than like he's ever received in all his life put together.
Yeah, I'm gonna think about everything after this. then I'll stream.
Thank you, guys. Top guys. You
All
guys.
right.
All right.
Superb. Let's have a Rambo
Bye-bye.
OP in the chat.
Yes.
Rambo P.
Yes.
All right.
Also, is this the highest the likes have ever been for us?
I think
Wouldn't
we hit 1,000 for which
too.
one?
Patrick.
For Patrick, yeah.
For Patrick.
All right, so all you have to do to do that is just be a former football player by the time you come next time, and yeah, we'll get 1,000 likes.
Or have a kid.
Yeah, or
I
have a
think
kid.
it works.
I'll bring my kid. I'll give birth on the screen.
All right, brilliant. Thanks, buddy. Take care.
Thank you.
All right.
So even I shall leave.
Yeah,
Let
we'll
you-
just do the housekeeping announcements and we're done.
Yes. So thank you guys for having me. It was great fun. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
cool. It's
Am I-
amazing. Thanks for getting us all those 800 likes, man.
Yeah. Man, yeah. But चलो तुम लोग अपना करो अभी मैं निकल रहा
Chalo.
Bye bye. Bye
Joel.
Kautuk. Bye
Joel,
Azeem.
bye.
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 Okay, so I think that pretty much covers it. We had other football things to talk about, but maybe we'll start the watch along stream on Sunday a little earlier and cover that stuff.
Yeah.
And because abhi to bahut time ho
I
gaya.
will be watching the entire game like this, just so you guys know.
Ah, Baba.
Yes.
It's gonna be
So
great.
yeah, so Chelsea rant, all that will happen on Sunday. Sunday is the watch along for Liverpool versus
Alright.
Chelsea, which now we're going to be bloody competing with, I don't know, fucking 50 watch alongs happening every day because IPL bhi chalu ho raha hai. Yeah. So it's going to be damn good fun because the IPL mandate says that people who are
They can't say
streaming
it.
cannot say the names of the teams. So everyone's going to be
They
fighting.
can't say the name of the teams. They can't say IPL. They have to.
We just said it's
You
no
have to call it T20 tournament.
Yeah.
Previously,
Guys,
currently
but
held
I
T20.
think it'll be more fun because I think then you can say like Mukesh 11, like the fun stuff.
Yeah, this is
Oh.
you're basically turning that tournament
Yeah.
into Cricket 19, where there is no official licensing.
Correct. Also, now that you mentioned Mukesh, should we do that or considering
No,
all the
let's do
fans
on
are
Sunday.
asking?
Let's do that on
do it on
Sunday.
Sunday.
We'll do that on Sunday. Jokes लिख के आएंगे उसके लिए. We've asked
Tender heart.
Liverpool fans, ये केवी राहुल सुब्रमण्यम दोनों नाटक कर रहे हैं, तो जाके उन लोगों को स्पैम करो और बोलो आने को. नहीं तो we'll get somebody.
Anirban.
ADG is our go-to guy, but I think Anirban might be watching with his dad or something. क्या पता?
But it'll be great to get live updates.
Dude,
from
I
his
want
dad, right?
at one point I want to get Anirban and his dad on the stream for a Liverpool match. It'll be the best thing ever, dude. Liverpool
Yeah,
versus Everton के लिए करना चाहिए ये.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And with Liverpool losing that game, hopefully, it'll be so great
Yes.
to watch the both of them fight. But
And
yeah,
also remember, okay, you've smashed enough like button, but also remember, subscribe to the channel. Tell friends who would enjoy this kind of content to subscribe to the channel. We do 442 once or twice, 1 or 2 streams every week. I upload stand-up over here and also other random videos. And once I have my hand again, which is a very depressing situation, I will maybe be able to play video games again. Yes. So, chalo, thank you once again for watching 4,
4.
2.
Venkatesh Prasad OP, guys.
OP.
Thank you. Good night.